Hey, thank you, Judy, for inviting us into your home. I am so excited to be here. Like Judy said, my name is Misty Marsh, and I've been an independent consultant with Shelf Reliance since the end of November 2010. So I've done a few of these parties, but every time I'm still excited to come. I'm excited to be here. I love this product, and I love the business opportunity as well. They're very unique. The product is beneficial to almost anyone in almost any circumstance, and the business opportunity is unique to anything I've ever seen. So I enjoy sharing that with people and seeing other people get excited about it as well. So before I get started, I just wanted to say thank you to Judy for hosting this party for us. In addition, Shelf Reliance will be telling her thank you as well. She will earn free product and half-off product for hosting this party tonight. In fact, Judy bought some Shelf Reliance products at a party that we had last month, and that purchase was credited to her party. So before any of you even purchase, she's already earned $40 in free product and $100 in half-off product. That same promotion applies to each one of you. If you want to host your own party and you decide to purchase tonight, then anything that you purchase tonight will be credited to Judy as well as your party. So if you make a $400 purchase tonight, you'll be in the same situation she is. You'll have $40 in free product and $100 in half-off product before your party even starts. Shelf Reliance is very serious about supporting their hosts. This is how we get the word out about this business. So they're very serious about making that a beneficial opportunity for their hosts. So to get started, many of you are probably familiar with the idea of food storage. Maybe you've heard it called stockpiling. And I want you to throw out some adjectives for me, some phrases that describe that kind of idea. What are some things that describe food storage to you? What do you think of when I say food storage?
Stale.
Okay.
It tastes bad.
Stale, it tastes bad. Anything positive you can think of?
Lots of wheat. It lasts a long time.
Lasts a long time. Some others that I've heard: necessary, important, security, peace of mind, hard to use. Would you all agree with those?
Yes.
All right. So my purpose tonight is to help you change the way you see food storage. We're going to stop calling it food storage. We're going to stop calling it stockpiling. And we're actually going to call it your own home grocery store. And I want you to change the idea. All those negative words that you gave me, I want to get rid of those for you, but I want to keep all the positive ones. I want you to see food storage as something that is necessary and that brings peace of mind. But I don't want you to see it as something that is hard to use or stale. I want it to be something very positive. And when you change that idea from food storage, food that I store away in my back closet, to my own home grocery store, food that I'm using every day that's benefiting me constantly, then that changes the whole purpose of what we're doing. And I think that's very important. When you think of it as your own home grocery store, 4 things happen. First, you become less reliant on the grocery store. We'll talk in more detail about exactly what that means, but it's important that you're not reliant on the grocery store for all of your food needs. 2, you are able to put more nutritious and delicious meals on your family's table. 3, you'll save time. 4, you'll save money. So I want to go into more detail about all 4 of those topics. I want to share a little bit with you about how I personally got involved with Shelf Reliance and why I decided to start selling this product. Let me have you taste it while I tell you my story. Judy, can you help me pass these out? What you're tasting here is some freeze-dried chicken, onion, and celery. And I'll talk to you a little bit more about the product, but I want you to enjoy it while I tell you my little story. So just under 4 years ago, my husband started law school. All within 1 month's period of time, my husband started law school. We moved from Utah to California, significantly increased our cost of living, and had twins. So that was a huge change for our family, very overwhelming emotionally as well as financially. And as I stayed home by myself while my husband gone for 15, 16 hours a day and looked at these 2 brand new boys, I was overcome with the responsibility that I had to provide for them, particularly to provide those necessities of life like food, shelter. And I started thinking about how I would go about doing that. I wanted to be able to provide for them in any circumstance. So I didn't like the fact that the grocery store owned all the food. I wanted to personally own more than a week's supply of food in my own home. I didn't want to have to be reliant on the grocery store to provide me with food. So I began couponing, using coupons to purchase the same amount of food or more food for the same amount of money, and slowly began building a grocery store in my own home. This grocery store consisted of mostly canned goods, some whole grains, and a lot of frozen products, frozen meats, dairy, and produce. And that grocery store was a huge benefit to us over the next few years. Obviously, our life was a little stressful. My husband gone 15, 16 hours a day and taking care of twins on my own. I didn't have a lot of time, and sometimes I couldn't go grocery shopping, or I didn't feel like I had the time, and I was able to simply shop out of my own grocery store. I didn't have to go to the store as often, or if I was in the middle of making cookies, I didn't have to run to the grocery store when I realized I was, out of eggs. I had powdered eggs, and that made my life a lot simpler and a lot easier. Fast forward a year, we had our third child, 2 years, a daughter, a couple years after my husband started law school. And fast forward about 9 months after that, my husband graduates from law school, gets a job, and we're pregnant with our fourth child. He works in that job for 3 months, and then he was let go. And this is where our home store suddenly became huge to us. We were able to live and use the food in there and not go to the grocery store at all, and completely cut that expense out of our lives. Unfortunately, after a few weeks, we realized we still weren't going to be able to afford rent. He had not found a job yet, even with a law degree, and we needed to move in with my parents. So we did that. That meant I lost all of that food in that freezer. I had meat, beef, chicken, fish, sour cream, plenty of vegetables. I probably had hundreds, if not thousands of dollars worth of food in that freezer that we lost as we moved 2 states away to my parents' home. I began to rethink this concept of my own home grocery store, thinking that didn't work out so well. I lost a lot of money. And when I moved in with my mom, she was using Thrive. And I began using it in my everyday recipes, and I loved it. And it tasted the same, and I was fascinated by this product. So I went to a party and learned at the party that it had an average 20-year shelf life. Bingo, that was my solution. That was my own home grocery store. That was the way I would store meats and produce and dairy without having it go bad when I no longer had access to electricity to keep it in my freezer. So let's back up to those 4 points that I mentioned, and let's try and find them in my story. So first, Thrive Foods, having your own home grocery store, makes you less reliant on the actual market or the actual grocery store. I mentioned a few of those things. If you're in the middle of making a recipe, you don't have to run to your neighbor or to the grocery store for a missing ingredient. If you are too busy to make dinner one night or even to go shopping during a whole week, you don't have to. You have a grocery store in your own home. Job loss or unexpected bills, healthcare bills. A lot of people are experiencing that right now, and this is a huge way for them to be able to cut that expense out of their budget. But there are even more important reasons, or more serious reasons at least, to stock food in your home and to stockpile, to create a grocery store. Economic recession or depression, if we were unable to afford the foods that were at the grocery store any longer. Or natural disasters, particularly here where I'm at in Southern California. It's very likely we'll experience a large earthquake soon and be cut off from food supplies for a period of time, possibly months. And I have a lot of peace of mind that I have a grocery store in my own home. But with Thrive, the exciting part about that is that grocery store lasts for 20 years without spoilage. You don't have to refrigerate it. So that brings even additional peace of mind that was missing in my original home grocery store. I want to ask you, how many of you actually have car insurance? By a raise of hands.
I do.
Yeah, I think most people do. Most people would not get rid of their car insurance unless they absolutely could not afford it. Correct? Everybody agree? Right. That's something that as Americans we just have. It's important to have it. We don't want to have to be out without our car or to have to pay for the expense to repair our car. But let me ask you a question. How many of you would rather be without food than a car? Most people would rather go without their car than going without food. We need food to survive. And yet, how many of you have food insurance? How many of you have gone out and purchased food insurance? Very few of us. Some of us do have some food stocked, but that's what this works as. It works as food insurance. But what's exciting about this type of insurance is you actually use it. When's the last time you used your life insurance? When's the last time you used Your homeowner's insurance, or even your car insurance. We hope that we don't have to use our insurance. We just pay the money. And eventually that turns into wasted money if you never have to use it. It's one of the frustrating things about insurance. But this type of insurance is something you will use every single day, and it will benefit you every day. And so it's a wonderful solution to the food insurance problem and trying to create food insurance. So let's move on and talk a little bit about the next point. Thrive Foods, I told you, will help you create more delicious and nutritious meals for your family. And that's something that I think most people want. We all want to eat nutritiously, but it takes time and effort, and it doesn't always happen. But with Thrive, it can. How many of you did not like the chicken salad that you just got to try? Okay, I've asked that question at a lot of parties, and no one's ever told me, no, I don't like these products. When I serve these products at parties, people like them. They're good products. They taste just like the fresh products, and you're able to make the same foods that you make at home using these products. They really are delicious. And you'll get to taste quite a few products tonight, and hopefully you'll leave with the same opinion I have, that they're delicious, they taste great. But just because something's delicious doesn't mean it's always nutritious, doesn't mean it's good for you. We know that, and I'll tell you, not all Thrive Foods are 100% good for you. We do have ice cream, we do have brownies, and they do have a little bit of that fat left in them. But the produce, the dairy, those foods have the same nutrients that are in the fresh product. In addition, Thrive is very well-rounded. That was another piece that was missing in my original home store. I was unable to store dairy, produce, and meats for an extended period of time without electricity. Thrive, on the other hand, comes in every food group, and those have an average 20-year shelf life. So you can store foods in every food group and have a well-rounded meal plan. All right, so the chicken salad that you tasted, it had meat in it, real chicken. It also had vegetables. And I'd like you to try a smoothie now here. The smoothie has milk, it has fruit, and it has yogurt in it. What I did was I added those products, and I poured a little bit of water on them and let it sit for about 10 minutes so that they hydrated. And I'm just going to add some ice. There's real raspberries in here. Excuse me, I think I used blackberries. Real blackberries, mangoes, bananas, and strawberry yogurt with a little bit of our instant milk. All right, so I'm going to hand this off to Judy here and let her pour these out for you and serve them up. Once again, you'll get to taste that it's delicious, but remember, these foods come in every food group. You're having produce, real fruit, milk, and yogurt. Let me go into a little bit more detail about what I mentioned earlier, in that the nutrients that are in the food you're tasting are the same as the fresh product. I say that, and almost always people's ears kind of perk up and, oh, really? How's that possible? And that is because the products you're tasting are freeze-dried, not dehydrated. And it's important to understand the difference, and most people don't. Some people do. I didn't until I got involved with Shelf Reliance. When you dehydrate foods, you heat them, and the water is evaporated out. When you freeze dry foods, you freeze them, and the water is taken out without going through the liquid state. So it goes from frozen to gas without passing through that liquid state. And what that does is it allows for the food to retain all of its nutrients, all of its original texture, color, flavor. It doesn't change the actual molecular structure of the food like dehydration does. When you look at a grape and a raisin, you can see the structure of that food, the molecular structure of that food has been changed. It is a different product. Not necessarily a bad product, but a different one. With freeze-dried foods, they retain 100% of the nutrition. Now, not all of Thrive Foods are freeze-dried. Most of them are. Some of them are dehydrated, but the majority are freeze-dried. So they have 100% of that original nutrition in them. What goes into that can is what comes out. The next question people ask me is, well, if that's true, then I'm sure you have to add a lot of preservatives, sugar, salt, in order to keep these foods so they have a shelf life. Once again, untrue. Once again, you're likely thinking of dehydrated foods because the freeze-drying process removes nearly 100% of the water, essentially all of the water. These foods don't need any preservatives in order to maintain a shelf life. Dehydration, on the other hand, typically only removes about 70–80% of the water. So because there's water remaining, those products do need additives and preservatives in order to maintain their shelf life. So these products, particularly these freeze-dried products, are incredibly healthy. Alright, so now that you see that these foods really are delicious and nutritious, you can serve delicious and nutritious meals to your family, let's talk a little bit about the third point, which is how do they save you time? So let me ask a question. Do you always eat healthy foods? You have healthy foods available to you at the grocery store. You have produce. You have access to those type of foods, but do you always eat them?
No.
No, not always. It's kind of hard. What's the biggest reason why you don't feed your family healthy every single day?
No time to prepare.
Too busy.
Yeah, too busy. No time. It just takes too long to chop up all your vegetables. It's much easier to do what? To snack on unhealthy foods? To throw a microwave meal in the microwave, to go fast food, to go to the drive-through. Those are much easier options because of the time restraints that are on us today. So I want to show you a little bit about Thrive and how it solves that problem. Instead of snacking on unhealthy foods, you can snack on Thrive fruits and vegetables right out of the can. One of my children's favorite foods is the corn. The freeze-dried corn. That was actually the first product we tried, and they love it. They'll eat the peas right out of the can, and they love the fruits right out of the can. They're very tasty. In addition to just snacking right out of the can, you can make whole meals with Thrive in very little time. So I'm going to show you today. I'm going to make an entire meal for you, and it won't take me but a few minutes. I'm going to add all of these ingredients here into this pot, add some water, and let it simmer while we finish talking. So let me grab some ingredients. These are our potato beads, and I'm going to add about a half cup of these. And here are, the potato beads are dehydrated. Here are some freeze-dried potato dices. And I'm going to add about 1 full cup of these. I'm making ham and corn chowder so that you know what the end product's going to be here. I've got some freeze-dried onions, and Shelf Reliance carries both freeze-dried and dehydrated onions. I love the freeze-dried version, much more flavorful. Like I said, the difference between freeze-dried and dehydrated is incredible. So there's a 1/4 cup of some freeze-dried onions. These are mixed bell peppers. I'm going to add a 1/4 cup of these as well. Here's the corn I was telling you about, and you had some of that in your cup as well. But this is the freeze-dried corn. I'm going to add a full cup of this. I'll do it with my half cup though, so I don't make a mess. A full cup of corn. I'm going to add 1/2 cup of the freeze-dried ham, real ham. Simply have the water removed. And just a couple teaspoons of chicken bouillon. Like I said, none of these other products, the fruits and vegetables that I just put in, have any added salt. They have no added preservatives or additives. So in order to add a little bit of flavor to our soup, I'm going to add just a little bit of that bouillon. Now I'm just going to add water to all those ingredients. 3 cups of water here. And I'll go take this and put it on the oven and let it simmer. Put it on the stove, let it simmer for a few minutes. Okay, so tell me, how much time, you don't have to actually answer, but just answer these questions to yourself. How much time do you spend chopping veggies, browning meat, shredding chicken? I didn't have to do any of that to make this meal. I'm going to put some of these lids back on. How much time do you spend cleaning dishes? How many dishes did I just use? I have 2 of these that I have to wash and 1 pot. And then the bowls that we actually eat it in, but nothing else. This is an incredible time saver. And another way in which this saves you money is the actual time that you spend at the grocery store. How much time do you spend just standing in line at the grocery store? Not even pushing your cart around getting your groceries. But having this product in your home will eliminate some of that. It gets shipped right to your home, and you don't have to go to the grocery store to pick up your milk and your eggs and your shortening. At least not all of it. It can eliminate some of those trips. And that's through a program that's called the Thrive Q, which is like, the best way I found to describe it is it's like Netflix for food. And I'll go into a little bit more detail in a minute about exactly how that works, but it's an incredible program that keeps you out of the grocery store at least, 1 week out of the month. Saves you some time there. So now that you can see how much time you can save by using Thrive, how easy it is to serve delicious and nutritious meals to your family, and how it can help you be more self-reliant, let's talk a little bit about how Thrive saves you money. And this is my favorite part of the party, because this is the part where everybody expects me to say, oh, this is how much it's going to cost you, and instead I'm going to tell you how it can actually save you money. So my story is a really large example. I lost probably thousands of dollars in food when I had to get rid of everything I had in my freezer. And I do still keep some food in my freezer, but no longer a 6-month supply. These products eliminate waste. So not everybody's going to have to throw out a freezer full of food, but when's the last time you threw out a bag of produce that went bad before you could get to it? Celery? Anybody? Onions? I throw out a lot of those products, or I did before I started using Thrive, simply because I couldn't get through it. So yeah, you might only spend $1, $1.50 on that stock of celery, but if you only end up using half of it or a quarter of it and throw most of it away, you're wasting a lot of money. These products eliminate waste. In addition, these food rotation systems eliminate waste. How many times have you gone and found canned goods in the very, very far back of your cupboard and realized, oh, these expired a year ago or 2 years ago or longer? I have somebody who purchases from me regularly who did so for that reason, because she threw out a lot of canned goods that had gone bad simply because she wasn't rotating them properly. So these can help save money as well. There are other ways that Thrive saves you money. We talked a little bit about what we do instead of eating healthy. We snack on expensive snack food sometimes, chips, soda, crackers. Those things are expensive. In addition, we eat out. We buy microwavable meals. Those things are pricey. If we're able to eliminate at least a portion of those from our diet because we're using Thrive regularly, you're going to save money. And I won't tell you that I've eliminated all my fast food. I still eat out. I still snack on other things other than Thrive, but I've definitely decreased it, and that has saved my family money. In addition, you'll have fewer impulse buys. The last time you went to the grocery store to pick up just one item because you were out of eggs, how many items did you come home with? Especially if you sent your husband. Definitely more than one, typically. I don't impulse buy very often anymore because I don't run to the grocery store at the last minute, so I'm saving money in that way. In addition, some products are actually cost less than they do at the grocery store. Blueberries cost less than they do at the grocery store on average. Eggs cost far less than they do at the grocery store, and I use Thrive whole powdered eggs in all of my baking exclusively now, with no difference in the final product. Some of these products are actually less than they are at the grocery store. For example, blueberries. I use those in blueberry muffins, blueberry pancakes, and they're less than they are at the grocery store. Eggs are less. I use Thrive powdered eggs exclusively now in all of my baking, with no difference in the results. Some products even turn out better. In addition, the shortening is less. The tomato powder is another one of my favorite products, and it is less than it is at the grocery store, less than tomato paste, tomato sauce, tomato juice, and you can make all those products with it. You can even make ketchup and barbecue sauce, and a lot of fun products with the tomato powder. And you can actually get Thrive for free. Beat that. Have you ever been able to get your groceries for free? You can get Thrive for free by hosting a party. Like I mentioned at the beginning of this party, Judy she's already earned some free product simply because she purchased at a past party. And then any purchases that are made as part of her party will increase the free product that she gets. So if you would like to try Thrive for free, host a party. I have people who host multiple parties because they want to get a lot of free Thrive. And Shelf Reliance is very serious about making this product available to anybody who wants it. So if you want to get it for free, go for it. Host a party. In addition, you can actually make money with Thrive. Again, tell me you can do that with your regular groceries. And that's what I do. Because I sell Thrive and Shelf Reliance's other products. I earn a commission, obviously, when people purchase. And I make money by selling this product, by having this product in my home, by using it and loving it, and simply telling other people about it. It is the easiest product to sell. It is a need. People need to eat. And it is convenient. It helps people. It saves people money. It saves people time. And it's delicious and nutritious and makes you more self-reliant. It is an easy product to sell. It is a fun product to sell. I feel honorable selling it and helping people be more self-reliant. If you're interested in that, let me know, and I can tell you a little bit more about how becoming a consultant, how that works. If you do choose to do that, I would be your trainer, so we get to know each other really well, and it's fun. I have a fun team, and we enjoy working with each other. All right, so let's go back to what I mentioned a little earlier, the program called The Queue. When I told you it's like Netflix for food. So most of you are likely familiar with Netflix. If you aren't, it's a program where you set up a list of movies that you want to watch, and then you tell them to automatically ship you a movie every so often. You can go in and change the order that you get those movies in if you want. So this is similar, but instead of creating a list of movies that you want, you create a list of the Thrive foods that you eventually want to have in your own home grocery store, and you set a budget. You say, I'll spend $200 a month on these foods. And then the foods automatically come to your grocery or to your doorstep once a month based on that budget. Pulls foods from your overall list that fit within that $200 budget and ships them to you once a month. You don't have to do anything. But just like Netflix, if you want to change around the order in which those products come to you, you can. You can decide that you want to get strawberries before potato beets. And build your home store in the way that you want to build it. There are a few promotions that go along with the Queue. First of all is that you will get party pricing for life if you are on the Queue. So if you purchase as part of Judy's party today, in fact, you'll have 3 days to purchase as part of her party. So you can go home, talk about it with your spouse and those sorts of things. There's no pressure to have to buy tonight. But if you purchase as part of her party, you will get what's called party pricing. This is the very lowest pricing that you can get on these products. You will not find a lower pricing anywhere, not on Shelf Reliance's site, not on my personal website, not at any retailer. Party pricing is the lowest price, and you'll get that tonight. If you want to get party pricing for life, create a Queue. And then every time you purchase online or on my website, you will see party pricing. All the prices will drop for you, and you will get that special treatment because you are part of the Queue Club. Anyone who creates a Queue is part of the Queue Club for free at what's called the bronze level. That's the basic level, and the benefit of being on the bronze level is that you get that party pricing for life. However, you can purchase higher levels of membership to get more benefits. Benefits like discounted shipping a couple times a year, a gift a couple times a year, access to exclusive products, an additional discount every single month on one specific product. This month it happens to be the carrots. The exclusive product that it's available right now is the Neapolitan ice cream bits. So you can purchase some of these additional benefits. If you want to get all of those additional benefits for free, which is called a platinum level membership, you can do that if you set your Queue at $100 or above. So any Queue that is set at $100 or above gets an automatic platinum membership for free. Any Queue below that gets the bronze membership for free, and if you want to purchase those additional benefits, you can do that. To review, Thrive Foods, number 1, make you less reliant on the grocery store, which is a really good thing. Number 2, they make it easier for you to put delicious and nutritious meals on your family's table. Number 3, they save you time. And number 4, they save you money. Shelf Reliance has provided an innovative way of purchasing these products through something called the Thrive Queue, which is like Netflix for food. If you set your Queue at $100 or above, you get a lot of special perks. In addition, you can host a party and earn free product. Anything that you purchase as part of Judy's party will be set aside. She'll get credit for it, and then it will also be set aside and saved for you for when you hold your party in the future, and you will also get free product based on your purchase that you make tonight. As a consultant, you earn free food and commissions. You can even earn full-time income eventually. So, are there any questions? If you have specific questions, I'd love to come around and help each one of you individually. I will come serve you your corn chowder, talk to you about your individual questions, answer any product questions that you have, or questions that you have about hosting a party or becoming a consultant. Thanks for coming tonight. It was a pleasure meeting you.